Good evening, Los Angeles, and thank you. Today, Dr. Robert Redfield, the director of the CDC, said the next 3 months are going to be the most difficult in the public health history of this nation, largely because of the stress that's going to be put on our healthcare system. We're beginning to feel that stress here in Los Angeles, and the latest data is nothing short of alarming. In the last month alone, since early November, our daily infections have tripled. Our hospitalizations have more than tripled and are at a new peak. And our deaths have nearly doubled, and they continue to rise. These numbers don't reflect last week's record-breaking numbers. They don't reflect yet the Thanksgiving effect of time spent together with families when many people were gathering and traveling in defiance of public health warnings. And here in our Golden State, unfortunately, California has one of the fewest numbers of hospital beds per capita compared to other states. So if cases continue on this pathway, if they continue to increase at the pace that we've seen, the county expects that we will run out of hospital beds here in Los Angeles by Christmas time. The public health of our city, the public health condition of our city, is as dire as it was in March, in the earliest days of this pandemic. So tonight, I want to speak, as always, to you candidly, with the truths and the statistics that I get as soon as I get them, to share them with you, and to know what we can do in the coming days. It's as much what you choose not to do as what you do that will determine what happens here in our beloved hometown. The choices between us are stark, between health and sickness, between care and apathy, and yes, between life and death for too many of the people that we love. My message couldn't be simpler. It's time to hunker down. It's time to cancel everything. And if it isn't essential, don't do it. Don't meet up with others outside your household. Don't host a gathering. Don't attend a gathering. And following our targeted safer at home order, if you're able to stay home, stay home.
So as you heard him there, it's time to cancel everything. Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakah Kodash. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the elect. Speaking of which, as a heads up, okay, Apostle Tahar, amongst other brothers, got their, channels basically, they got strikes, so did I. So hey, Lord willing, I might do a video and just, put the links to all the different, apostles, elders, and brothers that I, know of, all right, that basically have their new channels. So, those that watch can find them and subscribe. All right, but yeah, man, they're basically coming hard. I mean, they striking main pages, backup pages. They getting after everything, man. Okay, now as you can see here, this is from ZeroHedge.com. It says Mayor Garcetti bans Garcetti bans walking as latest LA lockdown begins. All right, and it says here as LA Mayor Eric Garcetti kicks off the most restrictive lockdown in the country, in the city of Angels. All right, it appears even walking and exercise are now banned as California takes a page out of Australia's uh, playbook. You can see what it says there. Now, when we started seeing what was going on in like Australia and Melbourne, Victoria, um, we told you that it was gonna come here, you know, and now what you're seeing is the sort of similar style lockdowns they had there. They're bringing it here. Don't meet with anybody outside of your household. That was something that we heard them doing over there in the UK. You know, and then the you can't be outside for certain reasons. They were doing that over there. Now they're bringing it here, and we're seeing it start with LA, but it's gonna spread. All right. So it says during comments earlier this week, the LA mayor warned it's time to cancel everything, including unnecessary travel on foot. All right. It says also known as walking. Okay. It says, as we reported earlier this week, the order prohibits all travel, including without limitation, travel on foot, bicycle, scooter, motorcycle, automobile, or public transit, with limited exceptions. Okay, so without limitation, all right, basically being able to do all this now, how you can just go wherever you want without being limited. You could walk wherever you want without any limitations. Okay, that freedom of being able to do that without limitations is gonna be prohibited, and only with certain exceptions will you be able to travel on foot or bike or scooter, all these different things. Okay, so yeah, it's getting real draconian out here. It says all travel, which I just read that. Um, okay, subject to exceptions in paragraph 5. Of course, there are a few exceptions. People who work in the healthcare industry and news industry are allowed to travel, along with individuals going to grocery stores, gas stations, and other locations deemed essential. All right. Now, here's the thing though. How are they gonna? Because they know very well that there's gonna be people that are gonna say, oh, yeah, I'm going to the grocery store, or oh, I'm an essential healthcare worker, or oh, I'm going to the gas station, when really they're not. So they obviously keeping that in mind, they're gonna need to have some sort of system, all right, or checking system in place to where they can validate and make sure that you are going to wherever you're going. Now there is a chance that they could do it to where you might hit a certain checkpoint on your way to this certain location, and on your way back, the only way back is that same checkpoint, so they can validate if you actually did what you did or you said you were gonna do, or they'll come up with some other way. It says Garcetti also ordered all residents living in the city to remain in their homes while barring all inter-household gatherings and requiring all non-essential businesses to either close or have all their employees return to working from home. Now, what about? See, it's only these businesses that have the luxury, okay, of like basically like corporate businesses where you can actually work from home. A lot of these other businesses, all right, or stores are retail stores and stores that diners, and how you gonna work from home in a restaurant? So those kind of stores you can't really work from home from. All right. So what happens to them? They get laid off. All right. The businesses start going under, you know? And there's no way to how you gonna come back from that? Because those businesses are businesses that took years, you know, of constant people coming in there and shopping for it to get to the level it's at, you know. So once it's been broken down, especially with the competition that there is now, it's impossible. They're not coming back. And this is all systematically designed. All right. So hey, yeah, that was basically it on that article. But as you can see, and this should make you think of Second Esdras, 15th chapter. All right, a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. Okay, as well as Revelation. All right, chapter 3 and 10. All right, because all these things are accumulating. All right, and they're basically because that hour of temptation is gonna increase. Okay, and it's gonna be at its peak when we hit that the time of the mark of the beast being pushed out there, which is the same way they're pushing out this thing. All right, this potion. Okay, now this is Revelation 3, starting at verse 10. It says, "Because thou hast kept the word of my patience," all right, meaning this truth, all right, going through whatever came your way for this truth for Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. In return, what? I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth. All right, and they're starting that now. All right, by making it to where you're being tempted. Your faith is being tested. You know, some people sooner than others, but eventually it'll come to all of us in whatever way, shape, or form. Okay, to where it's either you have no option. It's either you comply with all right, you comply with Esau, or you go out on faith and you know what I'm saying, you just put your whole trust in the Most High. That's really what it's going to come down to. There's going to be no wiggle room to where certain situations you can use wisdom to get out of, but this time is going to be an ultimatum. All right, it's either this or it's this, and that's it. that's the times we in, and that's gonna be that hour of temptation, man. All right, so hey, it's this is like a preparation for that, and based on how you do in this situation, that'll more than likely determine how you're gonna do when the ultimate situation when they bring that chip out. All right, but anyway, that was just a quick update, and like I said, it's not gonna stop in LA. All right, it's gonna spread, it's gonna come to New York, it's gonna go all around these different states, and they're gonna have if not the same, a very similar style lockdown, which is gonna be harsher than the first. Okay, so hey man, we're gonna keep watching and see, all right, how this goes, man. But those that have eyes to see can already see, how fast and how draconian things are getting, and how in such a short period of time. All right. So with that, I hope you were edified and informed. In closing, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakha Kodash. Until next time, Shalom.